Hear about right before you got drafted when you went out with Uncle Richard.
Yeah. Um, Uncle Richard decided that he wanted to take me out to celebrate one last time before I went off to the Army.
Mm-hmm.
And we went out and had a steak dinner up at Little Earl's Restaurant, which isn't there anymore.
Uh-huh.
And then went on to Hughesville, where his friend Nolan owned the bar.
Uh-huh.
And between Nolan and Richard, there were drinks in front of me all night long.
Uh-huh.
And Richard had his share too.
Uh-huh.
So, on the way home, Richard had to stop a couple times and get sick on the side of the road. Well, I did fine until I got home and crawled into bed.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, the whole room started spinning around.
Uh-huh.
And I felt it coming.
Uh-huh.
And I knew I couldn't make it downstairs.
Uh-huh.
I did not know what I was going to do. And back then, all of our white shirts, your grandmother sent to the laundry and had them dry cleaned.
Right.
And starched and pressed. And they came back in a big box and had plastic over it.
Yeah.
And there was a box of those shirts there. And that's what I got to.
Oh.
And let go of that. And it was a mess.
And Grandma probably wasn't happy?
She never said anything about it because I cleaned it up.
Uh-huh.
And put the shirts in the drawer. And I'm sure she found out, but I had one day between, well, I think we went out on Friday night and I had to go away for the Army on Monday.
Uh-huh.
So I had the weekend to clean up the mess. But I didn't get much sleep that night. Every time I lay down, it would start spinning.
Translation.
Now, there was also another story about Nolan and you winning a basket of spirit.
Yeah, that was at Nolan's the same night.
Oh.
I had bought tickets on Basket of Cheer.
Ah.
And that was the night we bought the ticket. Sometime later, the raffle was drawn.
Right.
And I won.
Uh-huh.
And Richard brought me this basket full of
Uh-huh.
and, I think I gave most of it away.
I remember it must have been closer to Christmas because I was around.
Yeah, I think I heard something about it being Christmas time.
But anyway, your Uncle Bruce was living in Washington with a guy called named Jerry Dean.
Uh-huh.
And they were going to computer school. And Bruce took back the cognac for them to have.
Uh-huh.
And he and Jerry got deathly ill and stuff one night. So he got his indoctrination too, thanks to Nolan.
Yeah. Sounds like Nolan really earned his name. Earned a nice reputation in the Strickland family.
He was a little bit of a wild man. He and Richard met each other because they owned property adjacent to each other down in Jones Wharf Road.
Uh-huh.
Touched. And
Solderly Red.
Okay. I remember Nolan had a dog named Rusty. That was a Labrador Retriever?
And he was there when we went up and stayed at his beach.
Yeah.
It was our summer vacation one year.
Yeah?
We bought Nolan a toaster as a thank you
Yeah.
because hers sure didn't work.
Okay. Now to finish the story. You went to get drafted into the Army and you didn't, so.
before I went to Dr. Patrick, I think it was, Lane,
Dr. Lane.
and who was our family doctor, and had him given me a prescription for a medication I was taking for a hiatal ulcer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went through all of the physical stuff, all the exams, and that stuff, and I got to the end, and the guy says, do you have any illnesses or glasses or contacts, those kind of things?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, I do have a prescription for medication for an ulcer. And he says, a what? And I said, an ulcer.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, let me see that. So he looked at it, and he says, you have to go home.
We can't refill this in Vietnam.